Hello guys, I hope everything is going well for you. Unfortunately, it is snowing here, so I am unable to ride my KTM at this time. But that won't stop me from talking about it and recording videos for you. I had a lot of problems with this bike, the most serious of which was an engine blowout that cost me $1,500 to repair. I'd also fixed it myself. You can find the video on my channel. In this video, I'd like to share my experience and discuss some of the other issues that I and other riders have experienced with the KTM. Let me emphasize right away at the beginning of the video, I am not here to talk bad about KTM, but I will just share my experience and some advice. I have also had very good experiences and memories with it, and I am grateful for the opportunity to ride a motorcycle like this. Because I remember times when I ridden cheap an old dirt bike and I was also happy with it. This is something big for me now, because I come from a poor country. But back to the topic of the video. My first negative experience was in 2018 when I bought the first KTM TPI, which unfortunately had very strange behavior. The engine was revving very good, but sometimes it wanted to go into reverse. It wasn't a joke, it really was like that. After some time they made the first update for mapping, and then almost all the problems were solved. Not quite all, but we can say that a large part was solved. But since I was driving on the first map, my piston got damaged and I had to change it. Of course, KTM said that it happens, but that I have to pay for the repair. I know that someone will say that I'm making things up and talking without evidence. Now I'll play you a video that I personally recorded. I know that many will say that you messed something up on the KTM and that's why this is happening. I have an answer to that too. After my video, I have a few other people's videos with brand new bikes. Is it a coincidence that the same thing happens on several KTM bikes? Now that you have watched the video, imagine what is happening in the engine. Because while the engine is running, the engine changes direction, of course damage will occur. KTM replied to me that this problem also happens to them and that they are working on a new map to solve it. But it's unfortunate that they didn't offer me a better solution, such as an inspection of my KTM engine to see if there were any other damages caused by this strange operation of the engine. But they just gave me a new mapping. They said this is free from us, and you have to pay for the piston and other parts yourself. I felt very sad and angry because I felt cheated by such a big company. I paid a lot of money for a new bike that came with the problems. And imagine, you buy a new KTM and you only have problems with it, and then they wonder why I'm angry. Would you be too? Leave a comment so I can see your opinion. But let's move on to the next problem. If you are my follower, you surely know about my case on my new KTM 2023, where the engine exploded. The repair cost me about $1,500, and luckily I have the knowledge and ability to repair the engine myself, and I saved a lot of money there. Why did it happen? After researching, I came to the conclusion that KTM stopped using Elco cylinders that had proven to be very good, high quality, and durable. In 2023, KTM started using Kymco cylinders, and unfortunately many people had the same problem as me. After researching and asking various mechanics, we came to the conclusion that Elco and Kymco use different alloy materials. What causes the failure, as it happened to me? The piston that KTM uses is made by the company Vertex, which proved to be perfect with an Elco cylinder, but with a Kymco cylinder it only causes problems and cracks, which will lead to engine blow up. For us riders it's bad, but for KTM, it's a great thing. Selling more and more parts means they will make a lot of money. You must be wondering what on earth this was, why the engine is running like that, and you can't believe it. This is one of the problems that often happens on TPI. The cause is mostly electricity. Of course, it's not strange because the TPI is full of wires and has a lot of sensors when we go through it with the KTM Carburetor 2017 model, which is literally perfect. Of course, its only drawback is that you have to do jetting, and while with TPI you go to the mountain and just turn it on and drive, you don't have to worry about how the engine will work, whether it will have too little or too much fuel. Of course, adjusting the carburetor is not a problem if you have the knowledge, and it can all be solved in a few minutes. But let's go back to the topic of this engine and why it works like this. The problem is in the mast at the battery, and their TPI is known to have a bad contact there. Luckily, it's not a major failure. Of course, the ignition coil can also cause the same problem. Of course, in addition to electricity, most often, the problem is with the fuel filter that is in the fuel tank. You can replace it yourself in the garage. You don't have to drive to a service center where they charge you big bucks for it. After the filter, the fuel pump often goes off, but this also happens if you use bad fuel. As for the fuel system, I can say that KTM did it very well. One big problem is the oil pump, which can stop working at any time and for no reason. What will cause a major failure inside your engine? Most of the time, you will lose the piston and cylinder. Unfortunately, there is no sensor that will shut down your engine or show that the oil pump is no longer working. So I'm always afraid of the oil pump because it can cause you a big problem. Tell me, what kind of experience do you have with oil pump? I must also say that KTM uses white power forks. The downside of these forks is that after 70 riding hours, the forks start to become hard and absorb poorly. KTM came with my Sherco and proved to be very good and high quality. The most important thing is to perform regular service, which includes changing the oil and inspecting the other parts for wear inside the forks. I must say that the wear are visible on the white power forks, but almost none on the KTM. Now, I can't say whether it's because the forks are better made or because KTM uses better materials because I didn't compare everything in detail. I hope you enjoyed the video. During the winter, I'm bored because it's snowing outside and I can't drive. If you want, I can record similar videos for you. In the comments, you can leave cool ideas and suggestions for the topic. Thank you for sticking with me until the end, and I hope to see you again soon.